The storm didn't stop all night. It beat against the windows of the abandoned chapel like it wanted to wake the dead. Liam's flashlight cut through the dark as he stepped inside, his clothes soaked, his breathing uneven. The message had led him here: you'll find her where love dies. Every sound felt alive. The creak of the wood, the drip of water from the roof. He moved forward, calling out softly, "Amira?" His voice echoed, swallowed by silence. The altar stood ahead, broken candles scattered, the smell of damp flowers hanging in the air. And then he saw it. Her scarf, the one he'd given her on their anniversary, lying near the pulpit. He dropped to his knees, clutching it. "Amira." A soft voice came from the shadows. "You found her too late." Liam spun around, the flashlight trembling. Selena stepped into the beam, her hair wild, her eyes bright with something between triumph and madness. "Where is she?" he demanded. Selena smiled faintly. "Safe. For now." He took a step forward. "Selena, don't do this. Whatever you think this is." "Don't do this," she interrupted, her voice rising. "You took everything from me, Liam. My peace, my dignity, my heart. You think you can just walk away and start over with her?" She had nothing to do with what happened. Selena laughed, a sound that didn't belong in a church. "She had everything to do with it. She was the reason you stopped loving me. The reason you looked at me like a mistake." Liam's chest heaved. "You broke us, Selena. You lied, you manipulated." "I loved you," she screamed. "And you made me into this." A door creaked somewhere behind her. Amira stepped out slowly from the corner, wrists bound, her face pale but defiant. "Selena, stop." Liam's knees nearly gave way. "Amira." Selena turned, startled. "You should have stayed quiet." Amira met her eyes calmly. "I've been quiet long enough." Selena's grip on the small revolver in her hand tightened. "You don't understand what he did to me." "I do," Amira whispered. "Because he did it to me too." Selena froze. Liam's head jerked toward her, shocked. "What are you talking about?" Amira's voice trembled, but her gaze didn't waver. "You said you were fixing things, but you were still messaging her, weren't you? Even after we moved. You told her where I'd be." Liam's face drained of color. "No, Amira, listen, Selena smirked. "Finally, some truth." Amira's voice broke. "You said you wanted to protect me, but you were protecting yourself. You never blocked her, Liam. You fed her obsession." The air in the chapel thickened. Thunder rumbled again, rolling like a growl from heaven itself. Liam took a step forward. "I didn't mean for it to go this far. I just thought if I played along, she'd let us go." Selena's laughter cracked the silence. "You used me?" Liam swallowed hard. "No. I tried to stop you from hurting her." Selena's eyes glistened with rage. "You should have let me disappear, Liam. But you had to play the hero." The gun trembled in her hand. Amira moved forward slowly. "Selena, you don't need to do this. You're not the monster he made you feel like. You're just hurt." "Don't you dare pity me," Selena hissed. "I don't," Amira said softly. "But I see you. I see the woman who wanted to be loved and was left in pieces. I've been her too." Something flickered in Selena's eyes. Pain, confusion, maybe even grief. But Liam spoke again, desperate. "Please, Selena. Don't ruin what's left of you." And that broke her. "What's left?" she cried, voice echoing off the stone walls. "Nothing's left." The gun fired. A scream tore through the rain-soaked night. For a moment, no one moved. The echo hung heavy in the air. Liam turned, heart thundering, and saw Amira clutching her arm, blood seeping through her sleeve. Selena gasped, horrified. No, that wasn't." She dropped the gun, falling to her knees. "I didn't mean." Liam rushed to Amira, pressing his hand to the wound. Stay with me, please." Amira's eyes fluttered, her voice barely a whisper. "Go. Call someone." Selena sobbed, shaking uncontrollably. "I didn't want this." Liam looked at her, tears streaming down his face. "Then help me save her." For a moment, the three of them, once tangled by love, betrayal, and bitterness, were united by one thing: regret. Selena tore a strip from her dress, trembling as she handed it to him. Together they pressed it against Amira's wound. Outside, the storm began to break, but the chaos inside still raged. Liam's voice cracked. "You need to get out of here, Selena. The police will come." Selena shook her head. "I'm not running anymore." Amira coughed weakly. "She's right. Let her face it." Selena looked at her, eyes wide. "After everything I did?" Amira managed a small, pained smile. "Forgiveness doesn't erase what happened, but it's the only way I survive it." Tears streamed down Selena's face. Why would you forgive me? Because hate already took too much from us. The sirens were faint but growing louder. Liam looked between them, torn apart inside. He reached for Selena's hand briefly. Tell them the truth, Selena. Don't twist it this time. She nodded slowly. I will. When the police arrived, the scene was quiet. Amira being lifted onto a stretcher, Liam covered in blood that wasn't his, and Selena walking into custody without a word. Outside, the storm had finally stopped. The first light of dawn broke through the clouds, falling across the chapel like mercy. As the ambulance doors closed, Amira whispered something faintly through cracked lips. Love didn't die here, Liam. It just changed. He squeezed her hand, his eyes hollow yet full of something fragile. Hope, maybe. Selena stood in the rain, watching the ambulance disappear down the road. For the first time, she didn't feel angry. Just empty. And maybe that was enough to start again. Behind her, the chapel door creaked shut. The place where love had died had witnessed its final confession. The rain had washed away the blood, but not the truth. And as dawn spread across the wet streets, it felt like forgiveness had found a voice. Small, broken, but real. The story wasn't about betrayal anymore. It was about survival. About how sometimes, love doesn't save you. It teaches you how to begin again, even after it's burned everything else down. And for Amira, Liam, and even Selena, this was that beginning. The world felt softer after the storm. Streets shimmered with leftover rain, and the morning air carried the scent of wet earth and quiet beginnings. But inside St. Clair's hospital, the calm outside couldn't touch what was breaking within. Liam sat in the corridor, elbows on his knees, staring at the floor. His shirt was stiff with dried blood, Amira's blood. Every second that passed without a doctor stepping through those doors stretched eternity a little longer. When the door finally opened, Dr. Hahn, a calm-faced woman with tired eyes, walked toward him. She's stable, she said. The bullet missed any major artery. She'll recover. Liam exhaled, covering his face with his hands. A sob escaped, muffled but raw. Thank you. Dr. Hahn nodded gently. She's been through a lot, emotionally and physically. Healing will take time, not just her body but her trust too. Her words landed heavier than any diagnosis. Liam waited another hour before being allowed in. The room was dim, the hum of machines steady. Amira lay still, her arm bandaged, her face pale but peaceful. The rhythm of her breathing was the only sound that mattered. He sat beside her and whispered, "You shouldn't have gotten hurt because of me." Her eyes fluttered open slowly. "Then maybe stop hurting yourself first." He smiled faintly through his guilt. "You're awake." "I never left," she murmured. He reached for her hand. "I thought I'd lost you." "You almost did," she said softly, turning her gaze toward the window. "But not because of the bullet." He lowered his head. "Amira." She interrupted, her voice calm but sharp. "I meant what I said, Liam. I know what you did. You were still talking to her." He winced. "I thought if I could keep her calm, she'd stop coming after us." She didn't stop, Liam. She escalated. Silence stretched between them again, thick, aching silence. Amira continued, quieter this time. "You can't heal by keeping pieces of poison close to you." Liam looked at her, broken. "Then what do I do now?" She closed her eyes. "Start over. But this time, start alone." He froze. "You're leaving me?" Tears slipped down her cheeks. "I'm choosing peace, Liam. For once in my life, I'm choosing myself." He nodded slowly, pain carving itself across his face. "You have every right to." A knock on the door interrupted the stillness. A police officer stepped in. "Mr. Graham, we need you to come with us. Miss Selena Meyer requested to see you before she's transferred." Liam turned toward Amira, uncertain. She just gave a small nod. "Go. You owe her that much truth too." The visitation room at the precinct was quiet except for the hum of the air conditioner. Selena sat on the other side of the glass, hands cuffed but her face strangely peaceful. Gone was the wildness, the anger. She looked like someone who had finally stopped running. Liam took a seat. For a while neither spoke. Then she said softly, "I didn't mean to hurt her." "I know," he replied. Selena smiled faintly. "You always say that. Even when I destroyed everything." He sighed. "I should have told you the truth from the start. I led you on even when I shouldn't have. I thought I could control it. But I used you too." Selena blinked, surprised by his honesty. "You saying that now won't fix it?" "I'm not trying to fix it," he said quietly. "I'm trying to end it right." She looked down, her voice trembling. "Do you ever wonder if any of it was real? Liam's throat tightened. Every day. A tear rolled down her cheek. Then maybe I wasn't crazy for loving you. He shook his head. You weren't crazy. You were just hurt in a world that never gave you a way to heal. Selena laughed bitterly. And you? Are you healed? He looked toward the glass, his reflection fractured by the barrier between them. No. But maybe now I can start. When the guard came to take her away, she stood up slowly. Before leaving, she whispered, "Tell Amira I'm sorry. And tell her, she won." But when Liam turned back, she was already gone. Weeks passed. Amira was discharged, her wound healing faster than anyone expected. But she'd stopped wearing her wedding ring. She didn't throw it away, she just couldn't wear it anymore. She moved into a small apartment by the coast, where mornings smelled like salt and forgiveness. She started painting again, something she hadn't done since before the chaos. Every brushstroke felt like reclaiming a piece of herself. One evening, while cleaning her shelves, she found a letter tucked in one of her art journals. The handwriting was Liam's. "If love was a house, I built ours on borrowed wood. I patched every hole with apologies instead of truth. You deserved more than a man who learned honesty the hard way. If you ever remember me, I hope it's not for the storms I caused, but for the way we survived them. Liam." Amira pressed the letter to her chest. For the first time in months, she didn't cry. She smiled, a small, steady smile that felt like sunrise. 6 months later, the trial was over. Selena received a reduced sentence for cooperation and psychiatric treatment. The tabloids called her the obsessed secretary, but behind the headlines was a woman trying to rebuild herself. Liam never remarried. He sold the old house and joined a volunteer program at the same Haven shelter where Amira used to work. Every day he helped people piece together their broken stories, maybe because he was still trying to piece together his own. One afternoon, as he stacked boxes at the shelter, he heard a familiar voice behind him. "Need help with that?" He turned slowly. Amira stood there, her smile soft but guarded. "I heard they were short on volunteers," she said. Liam froze, unable to find words. "You came back." "For the kids," she said, but her tone carried more than that. "And maybe, to see if forgiveness really works when you give it time." He exhaled shakily. "Does it?" "I'm still finding out," she said, her eyes glinting with a quiet peace. "But I think it starts with friendship." He nodded. "Then let's start there." For the rest of the day they worked side by side. No declarations, no promises. Just quiet understanding. When the sun began to set, Amira looked up at the orange sky and whispered to herself, "After the rain, the ground always blooms." That night, Amira walked home along the beach. The tide whispered secrets to the shore, and for the first time in a long while, she didn't feel haunted by the past. She felt whole. She glanced at her phone. No missed calls, no messages from ghosts of yesterday. Just peace. And maybe that was love too, the kind that didn't demand or destroy but simply healed. A year later, a small art exhibition in the city. Paintings lined the walls, every piece a story of loss, grace, and redemption. At the center stood one titled "Tears Beneath the Vows." Below it, a note written in Amira's hand. "Love doesn't always last, but the lessons it leaves behind can still light the way." Liam stood in the crowd, unseen, smiling quietly as he read it. Then he walked away, not with regret, but with gratitude. Outside, the rain began to fall again, gentle this time, as if blessing what remained. Because sometimes the most beautiful love stories don't end with forever. They end with peace.